8 years ago, grasses and clover, this is white New Zealand clover, stay a little bit away from her. She is, sometimes she quickly moves her head, and if you're close to her, that could be trouble. Just kind of watch her. So, and they've been grazing quite a bit. Here, she dropped something. That's why she hasn't been eating here. Because when she drops her manure, she wouldn't want to eat that. So let's just check what the soil is like in here. Definitely not like in a garden bed, super soft. It's almost a little overused. It's about an acre and almost two large animal units on here. It's a little much. So,
while Harold's pouring that up, one of the interesting things about soils in the irrigated, not irrigated, but the humid areas where there's rainfall during the summer, is that they do a lot of plowing. And here in the West, we don't do much plowing because there's
all right.
Showstopper.
Yes. Continue.
So here in the on the West Coast, we don't have so many perennial grasses anymore in our landscapes. So what we have is more annual crops, and because of that, our soils are looser. They don't form thick sods like what we're seeing here, and as a result, the tools are different. So the main thing is that in a tillage application, there's different tools based on the kind of plant material here to work with.
Her present. We can all see it.
Into your horns soon.
Yes, yeah, well soon. Actually in a couple of weeks we'll do that. Yes. So, the type of soil that we have here, sandy loam. So take a look and see here the movement from here on top, where you see very fine and kind of little crumbs going further down, and more roots, fine roots. Here also seeing some clover with the nodules, bacteria, nitrogen nodules. And then down here, soil being much more unchanged. Actually, it's almost peatish, this part here. It doesn't breathe well further down. This is a difficulty with these soils. So our soil, this is called sandy loam, but what we have in many areas in these parts here is a hard pan, a geological hard pan, about 1.5 feet deep. And it is about 1 foot deep, this hard pan. Solid sort of sandstone. Not real stone, but almost like stone-like. And the roots, the grass roots don't go through there. The trees make it through it, and they grow. But the grass doesn't. And that is sort of a limiting factor. One thing is, if you look here at the structure, very fine here, you see the activity also of earthworms and other soil organisms close to the surface. As you go further down, it becomes more planar. And this is how you see, how you can quickly tell the quality of a soil, is by looking, does it come in big chunks, or maybe in straight chunks, or is it very much jagged, sort of a lot of parts. So it's poorer here already, not as much roots going through it. So you just see darker color here, maybe for about 2 inches. Can you all see that?
We didn't talk
But
about
nonetheless, the structure in the topsoil is pretty good. I mean, it's pretty granular. And
Workable.
grasses tend to help with that because of the huge number of roots they have. that they help break up soil and help improve the structure.
Yes.
Which is often why they're included in cover crop mixes. You have your legumes that help add nitrogen into the soil, and then the grasses help break it up. So this is a legume pea family and type of clover it looks like. You can actually see the little nodules on the roots. This is a symbiosis of a type of rhizobium bacterium that enter into the tissues of the root, create an exacerbation that creates these little nitrogen factories. That,
there are no nitrogen fixing plants. It's the organisms that live
right,
with
it's
the plant.
it's the nitrogen fixing bacteria that inhabit the plants, and these little white nodules are where they have natural nitrogen producing factories taking the atmospheric nitrogen out and making them available to the legume and ultimately the soil.
Keep in mind too, this is the only soil that regenerates itself, is sod. You don't need to do anything here, and just by having the animals on it, it retains its fertility if it doesn't increase it. And everywhere else where you keep cropping, in a way you deplete. This is, agriculture you're always taking away, unless you can get extra much in.
And to me, this is one of the most critical aspects of thinking about it, because right now we're really mining the beautiful prairie of parts of the United States, because that had thousands of years of this unturned prairie, and it was able to build up this fertility, and that's why it's so dark and rich. Soil is actually not black; it's a neutral color. It's the organic matter that makes the color change. And Hunter's going to show you a chart, and you can actually tell the quantity of organic matter in your soil by the color, because the lighter the color, the less organic matter. So it's not like the type of clay or anything per se, it's the actual amounts of organic matter. So that rich dark soil was because of years of grasses and a whole complex of legumes and other the Asteraceae family and all this stuff working together with the animals that made it productive. And the grasslands of the world are the most productive areas in terms of creating life. The forests are very productive in terms of carbon, but they don't have the actual life-generating capacities that the grasslands do. It's because the grasses can grow from that basal part and then be eaten and then regenerate, that produces this tremendous amount of animal herds and migration that we have on our planet.
Are you going to rotate this part of the property?
No, it's difficult actually for us. It's we're kind of limited. If I had more land, I would include it all in a rotation. This is fenced for deer up there, and this one isn't. This has overhead irrigation. Top has drip irrigation, so it would be good. Yes, principally speaking, would be good. But you don't do so much with permanent pasture that you rotate that rather with maybe say like grains or something, or where you have a somewhat faster rotation where you would also put livestock on. This is good just in holding the soil. Any other anything else?